Omicron is starting to sound like this very wicked villain that is destroying the joy of this holiday season, our trips. It's crazy and it's real. Over the past couple of weeks, the number of daily cases in the United States jumped 65%. But Dr. Fauci says it's too early to start talking about a fourth dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Our Joe Khalil is in Washington with what the White House's chief medical advisor says should be done next. Joe?
Yeah, well, the White House now has some new tools that they can use to try to defend against this. One being this massive testing campaign. They want to put tests at people's doorsteps. And also we have these two new treatments for people with COVID symptoms that the White House, some officials, including Dr. Fauci, have called game changers. So good news there. And coming in from Europe, we do have this new data that basically confirms what a lot of American health officials have expected, which is that the Omicron variant is less severe in terms of getting people really sick in those really dangerous phases. But make no mistake, we are in the middle of a surge that really blew up over the holiday weekend. In fact, we're now at a point where the daily average cases in the United States is 214,000. That is an incredibly high number. And again, despite the somewhat good news about the Omicron variant being less severe, Dr. Fauci says we really have to be careful.
If you have many more people with a less level of severity, that might kind of neutralize the positive effect of having less severity when you have so many more people.
In the simplest terms, what Dr. Fauci there is saying that the percentage of people who end up getting really sick from Omicron may be lower. But when you have tens of thousands more, if not hundreds of thousands more cases, that small percentage could equal way more people for hospitals to have to deal with, and hospitals could be overwhelmed by that. So that is a big concern right now coming out of the White House. Again, they had these new tools, but they are monitoring what was very clearly a serious surge over this holiday weekend, hoping that they can get it more under control as we get into January and February and some of their new tools really kick into gear. Adrian.
Yeah, and some of the medical experts we talked to, including the former U.S. Surgeon General, saying that the complications are around people who have not yet been vaccinated. Those would be the ones admitted to hospitals. Likely with these mild symptoms, we're not going to see people there. And that's part of the confusion around why this is so impactful. But Joe, you did a great job of breaking it down as always. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.